No, the Earth is so old, and then it says how old the moon rock was.
All right. Well, everybody, I guess we'll always have. Well, we're off the air, so whoever it is isn't on the blog talk.
Oh, yeah. We just went off. Okay.
Okay. Well, we went off, but Ken, we're still recording just because it doesn't go off. Just because
that means I can eat the rest of my pizza now.
Yeah, and but I'm just letting you know. But if everybody would like to keep doing this, we should maybe meet back here and think of we can have a meeting during the week, Ahmad and Ken and Tommy and whomever else wants to join our group. It's on Patreon. It's a community. And the first 500 will go towards us creating a YouTube. It asks us for a project, something we'd like to work together to do. So this would be interesting.
Yeah, I thought tonight went real well with just an opportunity for us to basically let the drawers down and just talk and discuss things and not feel bad if we get challenged back and forth until we can kind of filter things down to where we're dealing with more facts than we are of suppositions and personal feelings. But I enjoy it personally.
And real quick, if you want a letter that the government sent my friend right before we did that conference, text me and I'll send it to you about the letter that came from NASA warning us about stepping back from the UFO world.
And
on each. Definitely. Let me just give you my email address over the phone here. Or do you want my home address?
It'll be over there, or it'll be on the archive if you give it to him on the air.
Okay.
You can best Skype him and tell him.
I'm not worried about it because I know they all have my addresses and numbers.
Yeah, he's a public figure on Facebook too. So, all right, Ken, you want to go ahead and repeat it, and everybody can leave their Facebook or their email if you'd like. Go ahead.
And it's all lowercase, or it could be make something lowercase. It's Mars One Astronaut, and you spell the one as O-N-E, MARSONE ASTRONAUT, Mars One Astronaut at gmail.com.
Oh, I thought you were going to give him your home address.
Oh, hell no.
On each one of your Skypes, I posted a link from a FBI file that was unclassified, and y'all ought to take a look at it. It's pretty interesting.
The CIA Government Library Reading Room.
Well, they just released another file of how much money they were spent on tracking Bigfoot.
Wow.
An FBI file out.
Maybe in the future we can do our finding of fact, who, what, when, where, why. But we can also cite where we're getting it from and then come up with some ideas for the week that we'd like to have a discussion, or each person come up with the topic for the week. Or, we can put these articles in our website, and I've got 5 of them. So I'll be glad to, offer those to this Friday night show if anybody wants to help write articles,
Are we ever going to go to live Skype where we've got video as well, or we just stick with audio? What's the game plan here, boss? You the boss?
Well, it's up to us because Tommy, we know we can do live anytime. It's just Ahmad feels like he doesn't have a face for television. Tommy doesn't care. He gets out there anyway. So if you don't mind, I'm the one that'll have to put on the makeup because I'm a girl and y'all don't have to wear it, but I look better with it. I'll be honest at my age. So it's just a matter of doing it because this goes on YouTube now, and Ahmad can help me with, if he will, with the graphics. Janet's doing hers with the help of the lettering from Ahmad for her graphics, and she wants to learn more. But we worked a little today, so right now it's just going to be a picture and the show the words. But if you'd like to, sure. Tommy and I will be more than happy to help make you some YouTube for this group.
I just went out and bought a high-definition camera for my computer because everything else is up to par. I mean, I got top-of-the-line equipment right now. So I said I might as well upgrade my camera.
There you go. And TJ, I put on my Starfleet Command T-shirt just so I could be on tonight.
Oh, okay. So you want to be starstruck and out there. You want your face out there. Well, that's good because you're a speaker and you're building camaraderie for our organization. And if people would like to have a face, I don't mind you putting yours out there. Mine's on Facebook. I'm considered a public figure because I've had this radio show for so long, and I do radio and. Go ahead. What?
Yeah. Well, we still got all four of us here. I want to ask this question here and get an honest answer because it's been brought to my attention of not reality. What is it? The documentation and proof of what I've done and who I am and where I'm at, et cetera. That playing with this would cause people to not believe the reality, the true stuff. In other words, it would bring down my credibility. That was the word I was looking for. And,
with whose story?
Well,
I'm an investigator by trade.
Well, because I came out and talked about my youth and a few things like that, and we talk about ET contacts and different things like that, which a lot of people and James Oldberg and the rest of them will be jumping all over it. You know how that goes. I put up with them and others. I just want to be sure that that's why I'm saying. To me, I can see where it doesn't hurt a thing, because if anything, it says this is Ken Johnston here, and he's not the least bit worried about coming forward and helping other people come forward with information and playing games with them if they want to. I don't know. I just want. In other words, is this the right thing for me to do to keep going and doing kind of like what we did tonight?
You want hearsay back firsthand? That's an opinion only you can make. But now I'm creating the ACO Association, but I support the UFO Association. So the ACO, the Allied Command Organization, I've got ACO Association Allied Command officers, and I'm not paying for all the separate domain names like I have in the past, but I own literally the name alliedcommand.org, meaning a domain name. And then the house is GoDaddy, where I pay for hosting. But what I've got is it forwarded here. Now that's what I provide is content in the publishing world. I am a publisher. And then if we go to the IUFO Congress, for instance, which you have been to, I would be a vendor. So that's all they care about is getting the money from me as a vendor. You've been a speaker and then been allowed to put your books on someone else's, or they provided you with a table. So those are two different things. But as far as the association and this radio show, no. Now, working with Andrew Basiago, based on he's a lawyer in Washington, and he's very credible as a witness. However, his story that he has been responsible for putting in his domain name, projectpegasus.net, I don't know if he owns that name or not, but you can go to Who Is and look it up for yourself and then ascribe to him and what he believes in. His group would be projectpegasus.net as far as I know, unless you know of anything else he has, and read that story. Personally, I was investigating that back in the day when I found him on Facebook with the Pegasus, was a flying Pegasus with his picture, and I became a member in his group. But when I met him for the first time, you were with me at the Mobile Mars Anomaly Conference. So as far as you working with him, he hasn't said, he told me firsthand, face-to-face, that he would prefer to be his own producer at the Mobile Mars Anomaly Research Society. And he and I never really had time to discuss the project that I was a member of his organization. Unless he's kicked me out, I guess I still am. But I don't know how much he runs Project Pegasus. That's what I wanted to discuss with him, because I was a member of that at the psychic level, and I wear a Pegasus on my leg, so I wouldn't forget that. And it was very important to me working for the government to remember what projects I worked on. And it's since become more of a Stan Lee comic group in cyberspace. So you know, it did become Ahmad, how would we say that? It went from Stanton Friedman type energy to Stan Lee energy because it was mishandled. So how would you say that? That's just one project.
I just want to maintain.
Yes.
I just want to be sure I'm maintaining credibility, and I am enjoying very much participating in what we're doing, and because we're bringing out a lot of facts and good information and data there, and even when we go to a big conference and stuff, and as far as I'm concerned, I put on my flight suit and the whole darn bit, and we'll have our whole teams and groups of people that are involved in, and use the term playing, enjoying, learning as part of the process of getting everybody ready for full disclosure. So I'm good to go both ways, but if it's going to take away from my credibility based upon the documents, records, and pictures and information stuff that I've saved all these decades, I would have to probably choose to stay into that instead of what I'm doing now, or both of what I'm doing now. I prefer to do both. We'll put it that way.
Well, let Ahmad and Tommy give you their opinion, because you mentioned Andrew Basiago in the beginning and what you wanted to do with him. And he's not in this organization, but he's a friend of yours, and I met him, and I talked to him years ago, and I met him in person, and I personally like him. He's a very likable person, and I just wanted more data, and I believe he has the intelligence to talk to me at the quantum physics level, one of the few beings on the planet with mallet and time travel as a real quantum spirituality level that we're addressing, or at least Matt and I and Tommy at some level. But each individual that hears his story may or may not believe how he teleports, whether it's in his imagination or in his 3D reality, or is it in 5D or 13 or 11? Is it in a dimension? Is it in another universe? How does he travel? These are all questions people have, like with John Titor and the Titor story in the IBM coming back. This is a time traveler story. And Janet works with time travelers. I started with Ahmad in 2014 on ERICOP, Education Research Association Community Online Press, to handle time travel stories. But Janet didn't like the name and didn't want to handle the stories. But now in 2019, she wants to handle those. So go figure. So everybody, we're handling everything and nothing. Ahmad, could you give your opinion?
I want to hear what Ahmad and I want to hear what they have to say. I knew where you were pretty much, but I want to hear theirs.
Well, being credible, I mean, your credentials are credible, period. There's no doubt in your credibility.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so how can that, I mean, you already associate yourself with Andrew Basiago, Richard
Hoagland. Richard Hoagland.
Hoagland. I mean, so, I mean, we're no worse off than them guys.
Oh, really? I'll keep that in mind. How's that?
Tommy, you want to talk?
I want to have fun. I like to have fun in life. I mean, good God, we deal with enough negative crap that it's nice to have something that you can be yourself on, but yet still stick with the truth, or stick with something that's, you know, borderline on truth, and using both to get the whole truth out to
well, you're not telling people what to believe. You're showing facts and what you perceive to be, you know, reality, and it's up to them to choose what they believe, regardless, you know, of what you're saying. But you're giving them food for thought.
Well, okay. So, and you're saying that if I go ahead and keep playing here, that it's not going to decrease my credibility. Because if they do the research and they look at who I am and everything else, everything's there, and they can decide if they want.
It's there. I mean, it's in reality. There's no turning back from it.
Some of the stuff we are doing, TJ and I, we know is real too. You guys are some we were dealing with truth. Go ahead.
Well, you're not attacking yourself. You're putting your truth out there, which is actual truth to you, which is real. And I feel if people have evidence and like you have documents, you have a lot of different things to prove who you are and what you are. And that's really critical because most people have zero proof, zero anything. I mean, all my things that went down, I had a witness.